I'm Mikey Stiller, the CEO and co-founder of Voss Coaching Co., and I'm so happy you're here. We have a great Q&A planned for you. If you were here yesterday, you know exactly what to expect. All right, Arash, the man of the hour, how are you?
I'm great, Mikey. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. So happy to be back here. We had great questions yesterday, so I'm anticipating we're going to have great questions again today. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and there's still so many people coming in. It's moving my buttons. Okay, we're going to remove my spotlight and MG. I'm not sure what your real name is, but I'm going to bring you on for the first question.
Yeah, thank you. It's Martin. I'm from Holland.
Hi, Martin.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, I have a question. I was in a really amazing momentum, and then suddenly my sales and my marketing the people didn't respond anymore, and the sales went down. And then I I became a little bit insecure, but I couldn't get it up anymore in the sense of my sales are still down. So my income dropped pretty heavy. So now I'm living on my work here on my location. But I think it dropped 60-70%. I know maybe a couple of causes, but I don't know if is it smart to analyze the cause, or is it smart to forget about it, move on, or I'm a little bit confused.
Well, I think you got to look at both.
Okay.
So I can tell you what happened.
Okay, I would like to know.
Yeah, what happened is when the sales started dropping, you started getting into fear.
Okay.
And so you accepted the wrong idea and you emotionalized it. So our results always are a reflection of our consciousness, of what's going on inside of us. It's never not. Everything always is coming from us, not to us. So the cause of everything is always us. And how I would look at it is you have to go back when it started dropping. And I want you to observe neutrally your emotional state. I want you to observe, did you drop your consistency? I want you to observe, did I start coming from lack and limitation? The results, everything in the universe happens exactly the same way. Everything happens exactly the same way. So whenever something drops, our mindset dropped. That's the cause of everything. It's the cause of how you're using your imagination. That's always the cause. The effect is the results, but most people are trying to treat symptoms, not the cause. So I want you now, once you observe that, we've got to bulletproof you, and I don't want you to speak what you don't have. Okay? You're speaking to me, I understand that. But to yourself silently, I don't want you to get into worry, doubt, and fear. I want you to understand every day we have a fresh slate. Okay, what I did yesterday is gone. Like it's done to me. The only thing that matters is what I'm doing today. And what's your goal?
My goal is to make 420K a year.
420,000 a year. Okay. What's the most you've earned in a year?
212K.
Okay. What have you done this year?
140K, I guess.
Okay. So if you look at that, okay, 140 and 212 are not that different mentally. Okay. They're really not. 420 and 212, we're going to have to upgrade processes for you. You're driven too much by the outside. And when you're driven by the outside, you're never going to win. Okay, I'm going to tell you that. So what we have to do is we have to activate relentless discipline in your life. We have to upgrade your faith and your belief, because none of it works without belief and faith. None of this is going to work. Okay, the reason I wanted you to tell me which I love how you told me. You knew right away what you wanted. Okay. So now we reverse engineer from your want. So everything you do, I want it to be in harmony with 420,000. Okay. Let me give you an example. If you were earning 420,000 right now, how would you feel?
Amazing.
You see how your energy shifted?
Yeah.
So I want you to feel that way all day long. I want you to feel so grateful. I want you only speaking from the 420,000. Now, if you consistently do that and start getting much more disciplined in accepting ideas from your goal and rejecting everything else, this is what's going to happen. The clients are going to come back. You created the block. Doubt always clutters success. So your results are telling you what you did in the past. That's all they're telling you. Why we're obsessed with results, I have no idea. I used to be too, okay? I think it's just old, outdated programming since we were little. So what I'm more interested in, for me, this is what I want you to do, is create the right processes for yourself, okay? If you don't have the right processes, next year is going to be the same as this year.
You mean mindset processes or marketing processes?
All of it. All of it. The goal always determines the process. Always.
Got it. Yeah.
So I don't determine the process. Like when I'm working, like if I was coaching you, I would be working on processes from what you told me you wanted. Now, what if I told you, and I'm not trying to change your gear with your goal, but what I'm telling you is 420, I think you could do better than that. The only thing you have to overcome right now, like I'm looking at your identity. I don't think you have a weak identity. I don't believe that. I think you have lack of discipline in your life. I think you have a poor attitude, but not a bad identity. So I would work with you on how to create an attitude that matches 420, because nothing is more important than attitude. Attitude is what we automatically accept. Okay, so that's what we put out into the universe. I want you to get emotionally involved from this point on that you're already earning 420,000. Okay? Then when you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the goal, the universe aligns everything in your life that way. So if you go back and watch how emotional you were about the marketing went down, the sales went down, okay? You have to decide what the sales are going to be. Okay. I want you to decide by now into what do you sell?
I sell hypnotherapy courses, certification.
Hypnotherapy courses. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I would look at how good you are at communicating what you do. Your call to action has to be excellent. So your mindset, if it is focused on worry, doubt, and fear, it's going to impact how you transfer your messaging. Like you could be the best hypnotherapist in the world, but nobody will know it if you don't come from that state, regardless of the results. I want you right now to accept this idea that you're the best hypnotherapist trainer in the world. There's no one better than you. I want you to accept that idea. Now, that's not because of ego. Every single person on this call should see themselves before they're there already as the best in the world. It creates certainty. It creates belief, but it creates a higher idea. And that's what I want you to do. Okay? Have you ever worked with me in any of my programs?
No, I've done the Matrix and with Bob and in the Corona time, and I've watched a couple of paradigm shifts.
I would recommend you get on a call with one of my coaches today. And if I have time, I'll get on a call with them. We've got to get you to create the right processes. Okay. You have to understand what you want. If you want to switch gears, which I know you want, we've got to transform what you're doing. Right now, I don't want to talk to you next December and you're in the same space. Okay? I promise you, we've got to get you turned around because an hour from now, you're going to go back into the old programming because you've been obsessing about what you don't want, of not liking the results. Okay, that's what I encourage you to do.
Okay. I agree, and I will do that.
Yeah, do that right away. Like right away. Like everything I want you to do is do it right away. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Do it right away, because in 90 days, you could be shifted dramatically. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Arash.
Sure, my pleasure.
Thank you, Martin. Miriam, you're up next.
Good morning, Arash. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Good morning, Miriam. How are
So
you?
today, I'm good. I'm actually pregnant. I'm 32 weeks pregnant, so I might be emotional and up and down, but
Congratulations.
thank you. So yesterday, you gave me some advice as to what to do, improve my processes, and also my mental rehearsals and accepting and rejecting ideas. I did it this morning intentionally, and I noticed that even at this stage of my pregnancy, I was so energized with everything I was doing. So thank you, and I'm focusing on it. So one question I have is, I don't know why I've had the tendency of like listening to multiple different coaches, and not only have I invested in your Setting the Standard program, I also invested in some other coaches. And I want to know if that is actually affecting like my states and my focus in terms of achieving my goals. Is it affecting me?
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Okay.
I used to make the same mistake. My mentor was Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
And I remember one day he drew a bullseye for me, like circles inside of circles.
Mm-hmm.
And then he drew an arrow from the outside. He said, people will start studying with me, and then you never go deep enough. Then they started studying, he would say, with Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins. At that time, that's what he told me.
Yeah.
And so they never go deep enough. He said, I want you to stick with me long term. And this is what I tell all my clients. If you're doing different philosophies, your mind is just gathering information. So you've got to pick one. I hope it's me, because I'm really good at getting results for people. And put everything aside and follow exactly what they tell you to do. And that's how you're going to stop confusing yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
That was the advice he gave me, and it changed my life, because I used to do the same thing.
So does that mean all of the programs that I've got right now, I need to just
put them away?
Put them away and focus on you and what I want to do.
If it's me, do exactly what I tell you to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have to do it. The ideas only work if you work the ideas. So I'm so big on processes, because processes create the results by default.
That's right.
But what people have a challenge with is consistency. Why do they have a challenge with consistency? Because they don't trust. Then they say, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to go read that book. I'm going to go do this. Consistency signals to your subconscious mind that your goals are non-negotiable, and your subconscious works on it. But if somebody's doing it for 3 days, stops doing it, then comes back, does it for another 3, they're not going to get any results. I promise you. Because all you're doing is sending double binding messages to your subconscious mind. Okay, consistency is absolutely crucial. You did what I asked you to do for 1 day. Imagine at the 100-day mark of doing it, what you're going to see.
You're right.
So that's what I would encourage.
Okay. And one more thing, you also advised me to change my language, that you didn't love my language. So I was wondering if you could give me an example of a power language you want me to that I can add to my processes and my daily affirmations.
The language always comes from the goal. The goal is our accountability partner. Okay. So if I'm speaking contradictory to my goal, nothing impacts our conditions more than our language. But I don't want you just to think about the audible language you're speaking. I want your language to be bulletproof from your goal, from the language when you're by yourself, when you're speaking silently to yourself.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of people will speak out loud a certain way, but silently they're full of worry, doubt, and fear. And it's going right through them. So the language, if you look at your goal, how would you speak? I want you to speak that way now.
Okay.
Okay. How would you speak? Like if you were super excited, super grateful, super joyous, you'd be so at ease, right? That's how I want you to feel.
Okay.
Neville used to say it great, but this is what I've discovered over really putting this work into my life.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is going to speed up your results more than your emotional state. And you know when you're in bad energy, okay? You know it. And so you got to shift it right away. Being in bad energy, like you may have something that triggered you. You're human, right? But the challenge isn't the trigger. The challenge is not revising it and re-editing it. We've got to reject it. There's nothing more that I want than this that I want you to be a control freak with. I want you to be a control freak with your energy. I want you to be a control freak with your attitude. And I want you to be a control freak with your disciplines.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
pleasure.
Miriam. Elaf, you're up next.
Thank you. Hello, Arash.
Hello,
Thank
Elaf.
you for
Nice to
this.
see you.
Thank you, you too. Oh, my video suddenly got blurred. Oh,
There you go.
That was my fear, right?
Yeah.
So I already got some nice answers from the last ones. And I am the best soul communicator in the world.
There we go.
And I am going for the big stages, and I do have a pretty big goal.
Okay.
And I believe so much in what I'm doing. I actually quit my job yesterday.
Oh, good.
And I was excited. Last night I was terrified, but I've been working on my emotions and mindset today. And I am posting a lot. I even make videos on for social that I haven't. That I've been really terrified before. The funny thing is, when I'm on stage, when I talk to people about my subject, when I help my clients, I'm super confident. When it comes to the sale, like, oh, do you want to buy my program? It's like I lose so much confidence. What's your pro tip?
Well, there's a lot of, that's a lot right there. You have a bad relationship to selling, and you don't have a healthy relationship to money. I can tell you that right now. So you are selling an idea when you're on stage or when you're doing your social media. It's no different than selling somebody else. Like you can't help somebody until you sell them. So you've got to change. And I would create an affirmation that selling is about leading people into action. Selling is something I do for people, not to them. And the only way I can help somebody is until I sell them. Then you've got to create a great sales presentation. And you've got to practice it every day. Because you're not going to earn any money if you don't sell. So you've got to change this. If I told you there's a concept I teach my elite clients called deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is a skill set that we have to develop that's essential to achieve our goal, that's a weakness. And you have to drill that every day, every day, every day. And you, as much as you're not confident in selling right now, you could be the exact opposite in a very short period of time if you practice it every day. And that's what I would encourage you to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Kate, you're up next.
Hello, good morning again, Arash. How are you?
I'm great, Kate. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm curious if all of the different aspects or areas of our lives are connected together. Is it possible to excel in one area while I'm simultaneously feeling lack in another area? And like, where's the balance of focusing on one goal and, focusing on health and money and family and like all the different things that I want to excel at?
Yeah, so you can excel in one area, not another, because you have an automatic, unconscious, great attitude in that area. You have more confidence in that area. So a lot of people focus on too many goals. You must know exactly what you want with precise clarity. And without clarity, you wander aimlessly and you get distracted. With clarity, you are directed exactly where you need to go. So clarity brings your desire into shape, it sharpens your focus, and it eliminates fear. That's what clarity does. So a lot of people will come to me and they say, well, I have a lot of goals. And I say, I'm great, so do I. But I only focus on my number one goal, the goal I want more than anything else. Our conscious mind can only hold one idea at a time. Our subconscious mind can hold millions of ideas. But I can't get to the subconscious mind and install that goal without my conscious mind. So I want you to focus so you do not get distracted and so you do not just gather this information. I want you to commit to massive personal transformation. So if you will achieve your big goal, you're going to achieve a lot of those other goals along the way. They will naturally happen. So that's what I want you to focus on. But you know what the programming does? It tries to distract you. It says, no, you want to be a great mother too. Don't forget about that. Okay? Like, don't focus on things that are already a part of your identity. There's things you're naturally great at. You don't need to focus on those. Those are already a part of you. You do that automatically. I want you to have that same attitude in relationship to any goal. Like whenever I have a goal, I automatically accept it, it's done. Now, I never know the how. I know I have to upgrade my confidence. I know I have to upgrade my courage. Because if I already had the courage and confidence, I would have already achieved it. Okay, so it's always about transformation. Because I said this earlier, and I want every one of you to get this main truth. Everything that is happening in our outside world came from us. Now, people will be like, no, this happened. I understand it, but there was some part of you that accepted it. And you could have accepted it unconsciously through you heard something. So I'm not asking you to not look at your results. You have to look at your results because the results, we don't want to keep doing the same thing, creating the same results. But we want to observe them, not get emotionally involved and not tie our identity to the results. Most people are tying their identity to the result.
Do you guys like design homes?
Hold on.
Kyle,
Someone's
can you
unmuted.
mute Kyle?
Yep.
So if we tie our identity to the results, we're in trouble. And I mean good or bad. Good or bad. So if I tie my identity to a great result I achieved, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to go that far down when I don't achieve something.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to have the same confidence, the same temperance in your energy, the same emotional response of knowingness, whether you're winning or losing. That's where you're going to start living the infinite game, playing life by your rules, not reacting and playing life by bondage. Okay?
All right. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Sure.
you, Kate. Gregory, you're up next. I cannot highlight you though until your camera's on. There we go. And you need to unmute as well.
Hold on.
There we go. We can hear you now.
Okay, there's an ambulance coming by. 1 second. Well, thank you for letting me. All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thanks for letting me join. And Arash, I appreciated you joining Monday Leaders with Liz this Monday. It was I've already listened twice, so I'm still taking notes. I'm gonna listen 25 times. So my question to you is, when you're writing your goals, how much are you specific and how much are you general? For instance, like general, I'm a happy, healthy multi-millionaire, or my main goal is to make $2.5 million. how do you, when you think about your goals, how general and how specific?
I'm never general. Never
Okay.
general. Always specific. So, for example, if your goal was 2.5 million, okay,
Mhm.
I would write it out. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning 2.5 million or more every year, easily and effortlessly. I am happy, I'm healthy, and I'm wealthy, and it is done. That you want to make it in a succinct statement. And now I want you to live from that's already here. The minute you accept the goal, your imagination starts going to work on it. The minute you accept it, the repetition is going to increase your belief. But a lot of people are repeating things they never happen. Why? Because they repeat something externally, but they don't change internally. They don't believe it internally. I want you to believe the 2.5 million.
Mhm.
Gregory, do you realize that every single person on this call, their desire is chasing them just as fast as they're chasing the desire?
Wow.
It is your destiny. But now you have to build the right processes, the right habits, the right standards, and then you do them every day, every day, every day. And as you do that, you're going to get to your goal at warp speed. The reason people don't get to their goal is because they start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. They're never going to win. All they're doing is wasting their time and they're infecting their self-esteem.
That's important. So, and my goal is much bigger than that. But I just was, when you talked about goals on Monday Leaders, I was like, okay, what's the number one goal next year? And should I break it like increments? Hey, yeah, my ultimate goal that I set out a couple of years ago was to earn $284,000 a week. So that's what I said. But I know, like next year, okay, how much of that do I want to earn? And I say I want to 10 times my income. I think 10 times in my income from where it is now will really, really mean a lot to me.
Yeah, here's what we want to do with goals, though. Your big goal is great. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But I want you to focus on what goal you're going to commit the most to. Because if you're not committed to it, you're not going to achieve it.
That makes sense. So write down the goal for next year that I'm truly going to commit to, and I have 100% belief.
Whatever it is. Yeah, listen, I don't need you to have 100% belief.
Okay.
You're going to build the belief when you commit. So you're not going to have if you have 100% belief in it right now, then the goal is not big enough. It's not a worthy goal. So the belief will happen quickly if you have the right processes and you install the belief properly with your belief installation process. But I say this statement a lot. I always say it's going to take whatever it takes. I can't tell you what it's going to take for you to achieve your goal. I don't know what it's going to take for me to achieve my goal. But commitment, once I operate with commitment, the world shows itself to me what I have to do. It brings the right conditions, circumstances, and environment. Now, did you meet me before? Have you ever heard me talk before yesterday?
Yes, I have. Not only on another call that we had, but I've also listened to you and Mikey on the podcast. So I check you out. And I get emails.
Well, I will just tell you, keep doing what I'm showing you, and I promise you it works. See, there's a difference.
Oh, go ahead. My apologies.
Look, I know it works. I know my processes work because I've done it myself, but I've duplicated to thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of individuals. The reason it doesn't work for people is they don't do it. So you've got to commit to doing it. All right,
and I've started, and this let before I go. I've started with the Millionaire Mornings. I'm getting consistent. Like I said, consistency is key, and that's when you're getting uncomfortable to do something every day and waking up. And I'm like, this is going to help my mindset and everything that I need to do. So that's what I've been starting with the Millionaire Mornings.
I'll tell you, if somebody wants to earn 7 figures on this call, if you're not following my Millionaire Mornings, you're missing out. I don't know anyone earning 7 figures who doesn't have a great morning routine. I will tell you that right now.
All right. Thank you, Gregory.